Hi, Debbie Lichter here with Free from Food Addiction and the Congruence Code. And today we are talking about confidence. So there's lots of ways out there where we can do things externally to our appearance to make ourselves feel confident. But today we're not talking about that kind of confidence. Today we are talking about the confidence to truly be you, to stop holding back, to stop playing small, to put yourself out there so that you can shine your light and you can help more people. So if you're interested in that kind of confidence, then listen up, because I have 3 tools that have been so valuable in my own life and stuff that I teach people all over the world, and I want you to have these tools too. So before we dive into that, let's really talk about what we mean by confidence, because confidence, sometimes we see other people being what we think is confident, and it actually is more bravado. It's more that someone's out there and we kind of think, oh, well, they must not have any fear. And so we have all these beliefs about what we perceive confidence to be. And my experience is that confidence is not hypey. Confidence is humble. Confidence is actually a combination of courage and surrender and trust. And when we can actually have the courage to just be ourselves, the courage to possibly mess up, the courage to even fail, to even look bad, we can trust that we're going to be held in all of that, and we can surrender our need to look good. When we can do that, we can access confidence. And we move through it from the authenticity of who we really, really are instead of who we think we're supposed to be. And that's the most beautiful, beautiful expression of confidence in the entire world. So what I'd love to do right now is I'd love to share with you 3 tools that you can start to implement right away that can really help you to have more confidence. So the first one is what I call reframing the pain. So it's uncomfortable to put yourself out there, right? And oftentimes we can get caught up with, oh, I don't want to be judged, and we have this, fear of being judged. We have this fear of being looking silly, or of not knowing what to say, or of being wrong, or we create all these stories in our head, and then it has us kind of holding back and playing small. But here's the thing: is that it might be uncomfortable to put yourself out there, but I can guarantee you that it is like 100 times more uncomfortable to stay stuck and small and in a tight little round bud and never putting yourself out there, never actualizing your potential, and never truly being who you're here to be. That is a death sentence. It's a spiritual death sentence. And if you're walking around that way, then chances are you're setting yourself up for obsession, for addiction, for negative thinking, for judgment, for jealousy, for envy, for frustration, for physical pain, and a ton of self-sabotaging patterns. And it just feels really icky, right? And so it is not comfortable. That's why I don't talk about living in your comfort zone or not living in your comfort zone, because there is nothing comfortable about your comfort zone. I call it a familiarity zone. And what we want to do to be able to step outside of our familiarity zone is we have to reframe that pain. We have to see that the pain of staying inside that familiarity zone is far greater than that pain of stepping outside of it. And so what we need to do is implement the tool of flirting with failure. What if failure wasn't the bottom of the rung? What if failure was an access point to truly getting over ourselves so that we can uncover what we're really here to do? I mean, there are every single successful person in the world has failed way more than they've succeeded, but they kept doing it, right? Because they were willing to flirt with failure, not make meaning out of it, not assign meaning about who they are or what is possible, but just to continue to explore. And so if you can do that, oh my gosh, the world opens up to you. So the first tool is to flirt with failure by reframing your pain. Okay, so the number 2 tool that I have for you today is to reframe your aim. So what do I mean by that? So we are so outcome oriented. In fact, we usually pin our progress to a certain kind of outcome, a certain kind of agenda that we have. Like, okay, if I speak on this video right now, then I expect to have other people listen. The outcome that I desire is to gain respect or to gain credibility, right? Every single thing that we do in our lives, when we're putting ourselves out there, there's typically some kind of outcome or some kind of agenda that we are attached to or hooked onto. And so it might be for the stature or for the prestige or for the money or for some kind of externalized thing that we find, oh my gosh, if I can acquire this, if I can do this, then this will really mean that I have made it, that I've reached this outcome. But when we become so outcome oriented, what oftentimes happens is that we build it up so much of what it's supposed to be that we end up not doing anything. And this is where paralysis by analysis can come in, and this is where we can really get into that perfectionism, procrastination kind of cycle, and we don't end up actually doing anything. And this can keep us really, really holding back and playing small. So by reframing the aim, we want to go from doing it for the outcome to doing it for who we can become. So what do I mean by that? So if I'm in it for something of, gosh, this isn't about how many likes I get on this video, but this is about me showing up, not having a script, not having it figured out, not having it put together, wearing my regular street clothes, just being me and putting myself out there and sharing my authentic self with you. And what if that is the point? To be all of me and to share all of me with all of you. What if I'm actually able to reframe the aim of what I'm doing in the first place? What if me endeavoring to be in business isn't about how I'm going to be paying for my needs and for my family, but rather that what I'm doing in business is for how I can stretch and grow as a human being? Because being in business is one of the best spiritual practices that you could ever have. So what if we were able to reframe our aim? And who do I get to become on the other side of exploring this? And life becomes an exploration instead of something to do to cross off our lists, right? So that's number 2 tool. Number 3 tool that I want to share with you today is to reframe your game. So reframe your game. So society has set us up to play by certain rules of a game. And the game is that there are limited resources, and you really have to make sure that you get what you need and that you get what your family needs so that you can be okay on the inside. And it is set up on a platform of my power is in my independence, and my strength is in my ability to compete and to beat you. And my sense of self is tied to, again, my ability to acquire wealth, prestige, popularity, stature, all of these things. And that is what my identity and my success is pinned upon. And so we're playing this game, and the game has me looking at the limited resources of the world and looking at the limited resources inside of myself and feeling like I have got to beg, borrow, and steal. I have got to manipulate. I've got to compete. I've got to make sure that I am doing it better, that I need the edge. I've got to be ahead of you. So I might smile in your face, but really I'm competing with you in the background. And that's the game that we have unknowingly or consciously subscribed to. And so by reframing the game, what if instead of making it about me and what I am gaining personally, I make it about who the people are that I am here to help? So what if it goes from the personal to the plural? What if it goes from me to the people that I'm here to serve? What if it's not self-serving, but it is service of the higher calling for which I am here? What do I mean by that? So what I find is that I will not go there's like an end point to which I'm going to go and do something and put myself outside of that familiarity zone and do something that's really, really uncomfortable and really scary and kind of free fall into the I don't know of life. There's sort of like a part of me that will stop if I'm just doing it for myself. But guide is going to be able to inspire or help others, then everything opens up. Then no holds barred. Then I will do absolutely anything because I can only take people as far as I'm willing to go. And so I need to continue to dive, to leap off of that diving board into the unknown, into that new exploration, into the I don't knownness of life, because by so doing, I get to lead through transparency and through example, and I get to show others, hey, this is possible for you, and that is how I can help others. And so it is vital, it is so, so important for us to come together and to reframe the game. Don't do it for yourself. You will never, ever actually be able to go as far as you would if you considered, gosh, who I can help on the other side of this, if I'm willing to stretch and to grow, is unlimited, and that's what I am in this for. So we have reframing the pain, we have reframing the aim, and we have reframing the game. And if you want to hear more about that, you can click the link below. I will have a link that goes to an article that I wrote that goes more into depth of each one of these things, so you can read more up about that. And I have an invitation for you. If you are someone who wants to be more confident so that you can put yourself out there and you can help more people, if that is in your heart and you're like, yes, I really, really want that, then I want to invite you to become part of the Congruence Collective. We are going to be doing a confidence challenge. This confidence challenge is specifically for people who are wanting to be able to dive off that diving board into the I don't knownness of their own lives so that they can stop holding back, so that they can stop playing small, so that they can be all of themselves and share all of themselves with all of the world, and by so doing, help others in the process. If that is you, if that is something that is a calling for you, and if you want support and accountability on how to do that, then go to liveyourlight.today, liveyourlight.today. I will put that link again below this video. And come and join us. It's a totally free community, but what I really want to do is support you in being your most confident, congruent, connected self, because I can tell you right now that when you do that, you light the world up, and then the entire world benefits. So here is to a year of more courage and confidence and congruence, and to being all of you so that you can go and shine your light and help all those people. It is such an honor to be here with you. I will connect more with you next time. Bye for now. Mwah.